5 things to do when you're planning a family photo shoot. Hi, my name is Offa, and today I wanted to run through what you could do to make sure that you're taking the best family photos you can. A lot of photographers start their photography journey with family photos, whether they intend to or not. Sooner or later, a relative will reach out and ask for family photos after hearing that you have a good camera. For some, it's their favorite type of photography, but whether you love it or not, here are some things to help you with your family photo shoots. Number 1, discuss and set realistic expectations. For families with younger kids, let them know that their kids may not be in the best mood all the time, but to make sure they are, they will need a nap and food before. Plan your photo shoot around the children, and second to that, the elderly. Make sure parents know that they're getting smiles from children may be difficult, however your tips will help optimize this. Ask them what makes their children smile, or ask them to bring someone the children are more comfortable with. That's not the parents. I find this helps the child feel a little secure. Seeing a strange person with a camera can make shy kids feel shyer. If they don't want to do this, then make sure it's really for their benefit so you can optimize and get the most out of the photos for them. And if they don't, that's okay. If they want sunset photos because they're stunning, check with them if they want to reschedule on a cloudy day. In Auckland, it's cloudy quite frequently, so I like to avoid this option if I could and prepare them that cloudy is just as nice as sunset, it's just different. But if they do, I usually set a rescheduling fee, and if they're aware of this and happy to do this and still want those, we go ahead with that option. I remind them of what I can edit. And this is, for me, a personal choice because it's part of my branding, where I don't make people thinner and I don't make people paler or edit out certain things like hair in their face. But usually I can suss this out from what they're saying. And this is a bit controversial because I only bring this up when it applies to them. So if they make comments about, oh, I'm not really comfortable in my body, please edit me this way, that's when I will remind them. I will not just bring it up out of nowhere, but I do specifically mention that the things like hair, that they will also need to be responsible for that on the day. If they want somewhere that's windy, because in New Zealand, beach photos are really great, but also it's windy regardless of whether it's summer or winter. And so I like to remind them, hey, if you want the beach, if you have your hair down, be aware that it's going to be very windy and you either need to have a very strong spray or put your hair up if you don't want those type of photos. If you do, then please be aware that hair might be everywhere in the photo, and if you're okay with that. Kids do also get distracted at the beach and can be very cold for young kids, so I like just to warn them in advance. I'm not being a downer, I'm just trying to make sure that their expectations are set and they understand what they're getting themselves into. Be realistic about time. Children for me don't really last longer than 25 minutes. If I see a child getting really anxious, really not concentrated, I'll actually have them take a little step away and we can take time out. I'll take photos of some other things if I can, or some other people, but if I can't, then I will try and push through. I'll give them a break for sure, but I always tell them beforehand, make sure you understand that kids do not last long. The last part of the photo shoot is if kids are involved, I will involve some kind of activity like reading if they're indoors, or something where they're playing with the plants. The point is to keep it as fun as possible and be understanding that everybody will not be able to do a photo shoot for like a whole hour, including some adults. And I'm looking at you dads over here. If they're having fun, they're more likely to cooperate and be able to play along and last longer. Plan the photo shoot with the client. I have a template that I get clients to fill out. This is all the must-have photos that they have in there. So the standard photos like children, parents and children, parents, girls, boys, that's what they like to put on there, so I make sure that those are done. If I have time, that I have any other photos that I can do that I want to fulfill on my to-do list, but also if I didn't take good photos, I will redo those photos later. I do find at the beginning of the photo shoot that everyone's very rigid, but by the end of it, that people get very loose. I also ask for information on elderly, physically and mentally disabled people, and the reason why I ask for this is because I want to make sure that I cater my photo shoot around these people, that they can be included and that we're not going to locations they can't get to, or they're not on a photo shoot that they can't last the mental capacity to go through. And when I do this, I find that it's a better experience for everybody and that they understand that they are being included. My goal is comfort and make sure the process is easy for everybody. This one you should just apply, but I do actually ask this because in my first photo shoot, I put the ex-wife and the ex-husband together, and I didn't know that the current wife was around and that they weren't speaking to each other. It almost ended the photo shoot. If you can, please ask if there's anybody that people cannot go to. Either way, how you approach this question should be tactful, and it will help you avoid awkward situations and even possibly ending the shoot prematurely. Please see my description below if you want to see that form and if you want to use it for your own photo shoots. Have fun and be silly. For some families, it's their first time, and so they're a little bit awkward in front of the camera, and not everyone is used to camera or you, so it's okay to make yourself look silly and goofy by joking around. And you don't have to do this, by the way. No one has to do this. It's just helped me, in my experience, make other families more comfortable, to make sure that I get the best photos I can from them. Try not to look unprofessional, but just to make yourself more personable. Bring some rattle noise toys for your young kids to help them look at the camera. I dance and try to make them laugh, but the best thing to do is to be patient. I put a toy around my camera and I jiggle it just to make sure that they're looking at me. Do what it takes to take the photos, and don't take yourself too seriously. Push yourself a little with each photo. Sometimes it feels like you're taking the same photos over and over again. To avoid this, I find a new inspo pic, and if it aligns with my client's vision, I try to capture this type of photo. For example, the client wants to have a photo shoot in the mountains. Instead of going to the same mountains I'm used to, I'll find a new location or a new way to take this photo that will be able to push me a little bit. For this photo shoot, I wanted a hanging out photo shoot where they're just hanging out in a cafe, and I wanted them to like feel like they're just hanging out without someone taking photos. I explained this to the client and they're really happy with the photo shoot, and I also wanted to go for like a little bit more of a retro vibe and just a girls type of hangout. Once you pitch your idea, check if they're okay. If they're not, put it in your back pocket and save it for the next client and pitch your idea to them. Do not be afraid to pitch your ideas during the photo shoots. During the photo shoots, I like to make sure that I check the client's hair, make sure their phone is off them and I do not see it on camera, and check if they have a wrist tie around their wrist. Now, I've forgotten this a few times, I'm not gonna lie, but every time I do this, I never regret it. I do not have to edit it out, and the clients are happy with the photos. Don't be afraid to snap moments in between. A lot of people are uncomfortable, especially when they hear camera clicking sounds, but sometimes the expressions come just after. And I don't know why, but definitely people freeze up, and that's normal. So make sure you keep your camera on and be aware of every situation, and make sure you just try and capture the moments in between the photos. Sometimes they might like them more than the standard photos. Be observant of your client and always be prepared to shoot and look for any natural moments or expressions. Family photos might seem like something easy to do, which I'm not saying they're not, but I know that these are precious moments for families to look back on years to come, and you want to get them right. Once you do well for a family, family photos don't just happen once a year like a wedding or once in a lifetime, hopefully. But they could happen multiple lifetimes, and if you do these right, you'll be able to get the same family photos. And if they have a great experience with you, not only will they like their photos, but they like you as a person, they are more likely to come back to you. Please like and comment down below if you have any experiences with family photography. Please also hit that notification button if you want to see more photography videos like this, and I hope you have a great day.